So next item in the agenda is its committee reports. So the first one is teachers report.
We've had a lot of teachers come again and ask that the bathrooms be open. There's only one bathroom open on each floor for the one with six stalls. And it's becoming an issue because the girls are waiting in the bathroom and they're late to class, or they're coming to class and their girls all period long want to go to the bathroom because they can't do so in the passing period. Teachers as well. The bathrooms that are open are now dirty because they have so much use. The stalls are running out of toilet paper during the day because it's being overused. So the ask from the staff members is to have the closed and the locked bathrooms opened at least during the passing period, so that the kids and the teachers can use the bathroom, and they're not running from floor to floor trying to find an open stall to use. That was a big one.
That is all the report from PPLC, from teachers report.
That's the teachers report.
Okay. So, thank you. We move to the next one, which is staff report. And they have you.
Yeah, sorry, no report.
So the next report is from athletic. So Ms. Russo.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Just a few updates. Fall sports are finishing up. They're closing up. I want to say thank you to everyone who was involved with the pep rallies. We had 2 pep rallies. They were very successful. I think they went smoothly. A lot of people were involved, so thank you to all of that. The students are starting to learn what a pep rally is, so we'll make them bigger, better, grander as we move forward. Seasons have ended this year for cheerleading, volleyball, 16-inch softball. I want to say thank you to all the coaches who worked hard this fall season. The cheerleaders got to wear their new uniforms this year, and I thought they looked magnificent, so that was great. They did multiple seasons or sports, not just football, which was nice. Soccer is in the IHSA State Series, playing this Friday at 5 o'clock here out on our front campus versus Alcott. So if you want to come cheer on the boys soccer team, if they qualify, they will play in the second round next week at Ridgewood. I don't know who their opponent will be, but that is the host location. Cross country has a state regional this Saturday at Washington Park. Football will be playing its last game of the season this Saturday here at home versus Foreman at 2:30. So if anyone's interested in coming out to see them, that would be great. And then flag football, our girls team has qualified for what's called the Tochito tournament. It's the consolation tournament for the playoffs, which is pretty great. They played in the first round this past Saturday and won both of their games very, very strongly. And they move on to the Elite Eight of their brackets this Saturday at Morgan Park. They play 2 o'clock versus Perspective. So that's pretty exciting. If they win, they'll move on to the final rounds the following week. So that's pretty much, yeah, it's pretty exciting. And we hosted this past Saturday, we hosted one of the championship sets of playoffs on our front campus, which was pretty great. And people love to talk about how wonderful our campus is, and I definitely agree. Winter sports begins very soon, and the winter sports teams that we have on the docket for the next, starting in 2 weeks, are boys basketball and girls basketball, and boys and girls bowling will be starting after that. We're waiting for the schedules for those, but I believe they will still be playing their games at Fireside. So that's pulled straight down to Mercy. And we did get bus passes so that the kids can easily get to the practices, which will also be held there. So that's cool. We're working on grades. It's been an uphill battle this year, keeping kids eligible, but we check their grades every single week. And what we're gonna focus on next is working on team discipline. And I don't mean disciplining them, but teaching them to have discipline within themselves, being at practice regularly, and so on, something that they all need to learn. And then lastly, fundraising. So at our previous meetings, we approved SNAP raise as a source of fundraising, and I met with them. I had a long meeting with their rep. I set up the accounts, got everything ready to roll. It was supposed to open this week. And then last week, Friday, we got an email from sports administration saying that no one may use SNAP raise as it is not a CPS approved vendor, even though many schools have been using them. And one of the sports administration staff suggested that I use them. So that fundraising opportunity is now gone. So at our next meeting, I will be proposing that we go back to selling tickets for basketball games to try and raise funding. That will be through hometown ticketing, so it will be all digital ticketing, and that will be proposed at our next meeting. Donors Choose is what we were told is the only fundraising platform available to us, but that doesn't really help because that is items and not funding for internal accounts. So it doesn't help us with our problems for non-conference officials and tournaments.
Yeah.
And then the only other fundraising that we have been able to do is, thankfully, we've been able to piggyback on ROTC's efforts at Northwestern as volunteers. So our baseball team, girls basketball and girls volleyball have all gone out and volunteered at Northwestern games to try and raise funds for our teams. And we will continue to do that so that we can get everything that our athletes need. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Aquiles, call case of the door 6.
Yep, someone wants to go.
Yes.
Student report.
A student report, please.
Okay. So, my name is Destiny Johnson. For the seniors, I feel like that we need to have like more mentors, one-on-one mentors as for college readiness and skill mindset. So hopefully we can have, like more mentors and more teachers to help us with college readiness.
Okay.
That's it.
Have you expressed that concern to the principal
No.
or not? Not yet. Have you present? No. Oh. So you guys feel that the opportunities you have to after high school are limited? It is?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Dusty. The next report is back. Do you have any information, Mr. DeCarlo?
Hello? Yes. Hi, yes, everyone. I'm giving the PAC report. We held our organizational meeting. We were able to meet quorum to complete the election process for PAC. So we just held a traditional organization meeting as followed by CPS. So we'll be holding another meeting to finalize the next steps in terms of the budget and what the parents would like to see in terms of professional development as part of the ongoing meetings.
Okay, thank you. Next report is PAC.
Sorry, I think that was the PAC, but here's the back. So we had the, I thought that was the back. PAC is monthly, BAC is 4 times. So the BAC also met. We had support from our network specialists, and they helped organize the meeting in terms of the election process. We were able to complete quorum and have the organizational meeting and the election process. So in the next meeting, same as well, we'll be following the next steps for the budget, for the BAC, and what professional development topics. They are really interested in learning more about the curriculum our students engage with and how to learn more about the student perspective in the classroom and just to learn more about MTSS as well. So those were like the top 3 things that they discussed during the meeting that they would like to learn more about. Oh, and safety.
Thank you, Dr. Vilchez. So next item is a professional personal leadership committee. So that's a PPLC report.
So we formed our PPLC and had an organizational meeting a few weeks ago in September. And that, so we're kind of like with the back and path, where we just got organized and we started fielding some ideas from teachers, since that's who we are here to represent, things that they want to see. The first thing that came up was the potential of discussing with administration hall sweeps, if not every period, some periods are staggered, because I think we have for the first time in a while a full security staff. And so again, the hallways being a regular concern, possibility of having hall sweeps. I'm not forgetting anything. That was the sum of our PPLC. We'll meet again probably in October, so November, first week of November. So.
Okay, so I have a question. In regard of the curriculum, there is a concern about special education and the post-secondary for every child in your meetings. So that's something that PPLC addressed too. PPLC addressed that too.
Wait, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what your question.
So I want to know if PPLC address curriculum in regard of a special education students and post-secondary education for regular students.
I think,
Or is that a subject that concerns to PPLC?
I think because of state law, this special education has to go through Mr. Inga and Mr. Goldstein. And then the post-secondary, we do have a post-secondary coach and external partners that come every week. And I only know this because I'm one of the senior seminar teachers.
Okay.
So I don't know if that would be best addressed with the post-secondary team, Mr. Valle, Mr. Sandoval, Mr. Vado. I mean, we can bring it up, but we can't.
But it's not something that is related to PPLC.
No, not that I know. Would you?
Well, PPLC, we talk about anything teachers ask us to talk about. So
Okay.
if that were to come
So
up,
any concerns that they bring?
any
Okay,
concern
got
that teachers have. But in terms of students or diverse learner students in the post-secondary, there's a whole post-secondary department. There's crosstalk amongst counselors, post-secondary people. There's a whole system in place for that. But the PPLC is more teacher, teacher.
Okay. Thank you. So we continue with the reports, and the next one is the CIWP.
Hi, everyone. So we completed the voting process for the CIWP at our last meeting. I submitted all the necessary paperwork to CPS for our Empower and CPS. So right now they're in the process of allocating the funding for Empower for this year in terms of supporting our priority groups. We will be progress monitoring the CIWP 4 times a year. However, that work does continue to live within the ILT. And so right now we're working on the professional learning plan that supports the CIWP. So in order to ensure that we have multiple stakeholders present, we want to make sure that the teachers are at the seat when it comes to developing the plan for their professional development. We're taking a little bit longer to develop it, but we want to be thoughtful in that process. There's 2 right now. We're focused on curriculum implementation and in the instructional core learning conditions. So those are the first 2 elements of the instructional core as provided by CPS, and every school is doing it as well. So those are the 2 indicators we've been working on, and we kicked it off with SCL. So we're in the process of completing our 5 PDs of SCL as part of priority 3, and then we'll be shifting to priority 2, and then priority 1, which is curriculum and instruction, and then priority 3, which is inclusive and supportive learning. However, that's going to be reflected in our professional learning plan, which is also linked in my principal report.
Thank you. So next item is